Hello? I can hear you guys.
Hey! There we go.
There we go. Everyone hear me okay?
Yep. Can you hear
Awesome.
us?
Yep, perfectly.
Perfect.
All right. Awesome. So today, here with Squatch in the Pit, we are joined with the Losing Hope. Where are you guys from? Introduce yourselves to the world.
Chris, you start. We're going down the line. I'm Chris. I do lead guitar. I'm from St. Paul.
I'm Skylar. I kind of do a little bit of everything. And I guess if we're getting technical, I'm from a town called Elk River, Minnesota, but I just say Minneapolis.
I'm Kyle. I don't play anything, and just the manager for the band. But I am also, I guess we'll just say I'm from Minneapolis as well.
And I'm Nathan. I'm the drummer slash art coordinator
slash
video guy. And I recently moved to St. Paul, Minnesota.
Awesome. Now, the Losing Hope's inception was actually all the way back in 2014. Give us some insight to the start of the group, how you guys came to be, like what was your catalyst, and what continues to fuel your drive of releasing music?
I guess that's a question for me to answer, because when it started, it was a solo acoustic project. That was the same summer that Dan Campbell from the Wonder Years started doing the Aaron West and the Roaring Twenties stuff. And so when he dropped We Don't Have Each Other, I took a lot of influence from that and went, this is just a guy and his guitar. Like, I can do that. I can write stuff like this. And so that's when I started like learning how to play guitar and write my own music. And I put out an acoustic record under a much longer, blatantly ripping off Aaron West's name. That was back in 2014 or 15.
2014.
Something like that. I don't know. And then I just kept writing songs over the years and tried to put out an EP, and then that got wiped. And then back in 2017, I started trying to write like full band material. Realized that was exponentially more fun than just writing acoustic music. And so that's when I got these guys here, plus Jacoby and King, who could not be with us today. They got trapped in an anime universe.
Some isekai adventure.
Yep. Yep.
Right on. Now, the Losing Hope here, your Facebook page describes you to be all about pop punk riffs, easy chord breakdowns, and a lot of anime references. Tell us where you see the current state and future state of pop punk and easy core, and where does the Losing Hope fit into all of this?
Honestly, I'm getting distracted by a dog. Honestly, I haven't really thought about that in terms for our band. Like we're at the point where we just write like what we want to listen to. And
yeah.
If anybody else like hears it and likes it, then they're more than welcome to jump on board. But like
what I've noticed, and I don't play anything. I don't contribute musically to the band.
He's a good outside opinion.
Exactly. But what I have noticed personally is, honestly, the easycore community. It's not the biggest community, but it's very tight knit. I like how very welcoming they are. I follow a couple different pages online. Like some of the most positive feedback I've seen given to local bands is in that community. So I feel like if nothing else, this is just a fun. Y'all are writing music that you love, and you have people that are willing to give it a try too. Not that first and foremost you're making it for yourselves, but there is like a cool niche group of people that definitely fucks with this type.
Was that Revive Easy Core?
Oh, dude, they're great in there. Absolutely.
Shouts out Revive Easy Core. They're on 8.0 now, I think.
7 or 8, yeah.
Yeah, I've definitely seen. I can definitely say the same thing with that, where you see a lot of the pop punk groups and we'll say like the emo groups where people are a lot more receptive to what we'll call like the smaller bands or the local bands, where with some of these these metalcore, deathcore, people don't want to hear like who's up and coming, who's local. they just want to hear like the same stuff over and over, and
For who's got the most powerful lows in the world.
yeah. But I've definitely noticed a very receptive, like you said, receptive bunch of people that are in this community.
And honestly, the anime thing, from a manager standpoint, I love it because I'm a weeb and I love anime, but it's also great because I feel like for these guys to really push the weeb aesthetic, it's one of those things that helps these guys stand out too. I feel like I don't know. People hear about tons of different pop punk or tons of different easycore bands, but this is the one where they're fucking weebs and they're proud of it.
Well, and that was intentional too, because it got to the point where, because I had my epiphany that holy shit, I'm really into anime, and so at that point I was just like, why is nobody mixing this kind of music with anime? Like that would be super cool. And then I kind of eventually just went, fuck it, I'm going to do it myself, and that's how the current version of The Losing Hope came to be.
Well, it's definitely in the right track here, and adding all those different elements, like you said, it's not something that is seen pretty much anywhere, and definitely looking forward to seeing, which we'll get to here shortly, but all the things you guys have released with the different merch, the cover releases, just all that stuff has a very fun, and I don't know, I just love the aesthetic of it personally.
Awesome, thanks.
Hey, we appreciate it. It takes a long time to get some of the artwork done.
Oh, I can imagine just some of those stuff that I've seen, and I'm waiting to get, because I've got a good collection of your guys' stuff so far, with some more on the way, and it adds a nice little, I don't know, like pop, some color, just some liveliness to some of the darker stuff I got sitting on the shelf.
Those cassettes for Common Face are, honest to God, some of my favorite tapes I've ever made. Like they're very vibrant, and I feel like it fits. That song is from the perspective of, well, if you want to explain it actually.
Yeah, Common Faces he was talking about, we did the cassettes for. That is a song that follows My Teen Romantic Comedy Snafu from the perspective of one of the main characters, Yui Gahama. So if anybody,
but those tapes, like, really, I feel like
It's a very Yui aesthetic.
it's a very Yui aesthetic. It worked really well.
I'm definitely looking forward to getting those and throwing those up on the shelf. Now, you guys also did release Two Quick Beers, a 2-song EP back on July 31st, which included Returner, which was a song where the message was just a poignant example of revisiting memories of our youth. What advice do you have for those that look back at their lives and feel regret or loss?
this is actually, this quote I'm going to explain is one that our old bass player actually said. This is a Jables. This is a Jablesism right now. He at one point had said to me, "No regrets, because at one point in your life it was exactly what you wanted." And I've kind of lived by that ever since he told me that. So that would be my advice. Is just like, at one point in your life, this is exactly what you wanted, and you got it.
Right on, right on. Now, you also, as we were just talking a moment ago, you just released Common Face.
Yep.
Now, what was the inspiration behind this particular track?
You wanted a new song.
Yeah, he wanted a new song, and Chris wanted to write a new song.
Yeah, it's spare time at work, so I just started messing around.
It honestly just kind of happened.
Yeah, this, like, 2 months ago, it wasn't even like a thought, and I kind of believed them into it a little bit because I wanted to keep building up. We're trying to kind of build our online presence, because for a lot of the time, The Losing Hope didn't have much of an online presence, and it was like sucking Facebook. It's all good.
It was non-existent.
But it was largely carried. The few people that did listen to Losing Hope up until recently did largely from friends and fans from the local scene that had seen Skelly live shows. That actually knew who he was.
Which the fact that I got 200 some people like that without any social media presence really
Was really cool, and I can't wait to actually make that happen again.
right.
But with 2020 going the way that it did, we obviously couldn't have live shows happen. So my big goal was to just keep pushing everything that we could online, like viral marketing and stuff like that. And I'm glad that we really dove into the animals that gets people's attention. But
That's how we got connected with this setup here actually.
But with Common Face, I basically was like, if you guys are capable of doing it before the recording for the full length happens, just make a single happen. Like, I don't know what that's going to take, but if you can do it, just do it. And we just kind of did it. We did.
Now, you guys, I've heard, are going to be going into the studio this upcoming week. Let's hear about that.
Tuesday. Yeah, we're recording a record. You don't want me to say the name.
I don't want you to say the name of the record yet, but it's the first full length. There's going to be some I don't know, some neat surprises that are going to be coming with it.
Yeah, it's gonna be a weeby pop punk experience. All of the songs are anime based.
The artwork is going to be fantastic.
Yes. Yeah, there's been a lot of work going into that.
Yeah, we've been getting some drafts back, and we're stoked on what this is gonna turn into.
We're looking to hopefully have a single out. If I can have my way as manager, we'll have a single out sometime mid to late February, and then hopefully the album itself dropping a month after that, ideally.
And I'm down for that because otherwise, when it was just me, Losing Hope would put out new music once every 2 years.
We're busting ass now, getting stuff out. But either way, there's going to be, like I said, a single. Then hopefully sometime in March, the actual album will be dropping. It's going to be pre-orders. Actually, my goal is to have some merch pre-orders going up, hopefully this next week when they're all in the studio recording to kind of build some hype for the album. And then there's also going to be for the album itself, there's going to be other pre-orders like merch and physicals and the whole 9 yards that we're trying to make happen. So we're really excited.
The record has a couple of dope guest spots planned too, so this will be a really fun process.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely said one of my favorite words, pre-orders. Love me some pre-orders.
Shout out to all the merch collectors out there. You keep us going.
Shout out to Connor who bought every single thing we've ever sold.
This dude Connor is just
eating it up.
He has bought every single merch item that has gone on the merch store.
Yeah, definitely shouts out Connor. Like, you're the homie.
Shout out to Connor there. Fuck yeah. Now, as you guys have mentioned, you guys have a huge love for everything anime. Give us your favorite anime series or movies, characters, and maybe even a specific scene or event that just absolutely grabbed your attention instantly.
Chris is just like, that's a big question.
That is a big question.
And he's mad because I'm going to make him go first.
No, I'm not going first.
No, I'll go
Be
first.
one with all of you. I got more to come through.
No, I'll go first. I'm gonna separate it out to like a show and a movie. Favorite movie by far was Your Name. Skylar showed me that one, and I was immediately in love with how the artwork was and how the music played in and throughout the entire movie. And then the story itself was really, really good as well. In regards for a show, I'd have to give it to Angel Beats for me. One, because it made me regret watching the last episode in the college cafeteria, because I was 2 seconds away from ugly crying in the middle of the cafeteria. Yeah. And again, same thing. The story was great. The music was fantastic. And just an overall great experience, except for the last episode where it's just
Sadness.
heartbreak, just heartbreak,
Just sadness.
just sadness. And I haven't been able to cry since.
Watch Climate.
I'm working through that one.
All right, Kyle, you're up.
So that's kind of a loaded question, and it's a difficult one to ask or answer. But what I will say, if we're picking movies, I would have to say favorite anime movie is probably A Silent Voice, because I wasn't quite ugly crying, but that one fucking still I've watched it so many times, and it's still like someone's cutting an onion next to you. You know what I mean? Like, it still gets you. And also on the topic of ugly crying, I'm going to just do 2 honorable mentions for actual shows, because it is way too difficult of a task to actually pick a specific anime that I would call my favorite. That being said, in the Slice Life category, Your Lie in April,
Bastard.
I have never been, I'm sorry, I know he's going to go into it more. I'll let him elaborate more on it, but all I can say is I have never ugly cried that fucking hard to like any show, anime or otherwise. That was absolutely devastating. Love it to pieces. And then the other honorable mention that I'm going to do is technically the first anime I ever watched. I didn't really grow up watching it, so I'm kind of relatively new to the medium within the last 5 years or so. Although technically the first anime I ever watched was Team 4 Star's YouTube series, the
Dragon Ball Z Abridged?
No, not Dragon Ball, Hellsing Ultimate Abridged.
Oh, good.
That is the first anime I ever watched, was Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, and that was my first dipping the toes in the medium, and I still cherish it.
That's wonderful. All right.
Amazing.
My favorite anime movie, still unbeaten, because it's just, I don't know. Anyone who's seen it and loved it will just kind of understand that there's just something about it. But my favorite anime movie, and it has been my favorite anime since I was 6, is Kiki's Delivery Service. Just, I don't know if it's nostalgia at this point or what, but that was the driving force behind, we put out a cover of "I'm Gonna Fly" by Sydney Forrest earlier at the
2020
earlier this year. Last year. Jesus.
So that's it's last year now at this point.
Good God.
It's so weird.
Yeah, so Kiki's Delivery Service, still my favorite movie. I gotta give shouts out to Castle in the Sky as well, and also Your Name. Also Weathering with You is climbing my ranks too. Oh, it's so good. Red Wimps nailed the soundtrack again. It's just a good time. And favorite series, still unbeaten, is Your Lie in April. That series is just, that one hits a little bit deeper, especially if you are a musician, because it's very clear whoever wrote this series and made this is either a musician themselves, or they had a very close relationship with one, because they just get what it means to play music, how music interacts with your psyche, and it just, that duality is just very well executed.
And the series that started this lineup.
Yep, pretty much.
So I won't say Your Lie in April then.
Yeah, that's been covered.
I'll go super old school, and probably the series I've rewatched the most times is Gundam Wing.
Mm.
And
Shouts out Iron Blooded Orphans. That shit.
yeah, that's a really another good Gundam series too. And then favorite movie, yeah, they pretty much hit it. It would be like A Silent Voice. That gave me all the single shed man tear when it goes down at the end of the movie.
Now, do you guys have any that we should be looking out for in 2021?
You want to repeat that one again?
Do you guys have any anime movies or shows coming up in 2021 that we should know about?
I know it's kind of a more trendy anime right now, but I am really fucking excited for Dr. Stone season 2. I don't know if you guys have watched that yet.
I'm excited for that one too.
I am really stoked.
Honestly, if
Shield
we're
Hero season 2.
yeah,
Also that-
Shield
no,
Hero
no,
season
yeah.
Shield
2.
Hero season 2.
If we're on popular anime, I need my season 5 of My Hero.
That too.
I need my Hero. That's fantastic.
All those great selections. Man, 2021 is going to be a great year. Now,
Yeah, it's definitely gonna.
Can't be any worse than last year.
Shut up, no
Wait,
thanks.
hold on.
No.
We're
We all
not.
heard
We're not gonna say shit like that, asshole.
yeah, Yeah, obviously 2021 positive vibes. Just think positive. It's gonna be positive.
Right.
Now,
I snapped my friend the other night on New Year's Eve. I'm going out of 2020 and into 21 quietly. It's big. It can't see me if I don't move. Vibes.
now you guys have already talked about the merch you guys have already put out. You know, like the cassettes, CDs, the beanies. Now, what do we have that's upcoming? I know you guys talked about it a little bit.
For merch. Yeah.
We've got a bunch of ideas. Nothing really.
To be
nailed down
perfect,
yet.
to be perfectly honest, I have at least half a dozen different designs sitting on my computer that I want to pull the trigger on. A lot of it boils down to band funds, and right now we're currently
I've only seen like 2 of those.
because I don't always share them with you. Actually, there's one that Chris knows about that we'll have to discuss at another point.
Oh, you're a piece of shit.
Yeah, no. But
He's really good. I like it.
But we're working on. Hopefully, I have a jogger design I'd like to do at some point. We talked about doing hoodies. For sure, we're absolutely. I already actually made one. There's my profile picture is a Losing Hope shirt that's unreleased because I made one for myself as a test copy. But
I want to reprint those beanies.
it's that same. So I don't mind sharing the beanies that we just did. That's a rip from Darling in the Franks. So we have a Darling in the Franks tee with that same logo rip, and then some lyrics and art on the back.
Because plot twist, one of the songs off the new record is going to be about Darling in the Franks.
And along with that, we have
We have a
one that's
beautiful model for the beanie too.
It should be around
Where
here
is he?
somewhere.
So hopefully the Darling in the Franks shirt. We got a shirt that I would like to do from Erased, that series. But yeah, hopefully joggers, hoodies. With the actual release itself, going to do CDs and cassettes. Vinyl I would love to do, but
We'll just kind of have to see what
I don't know if that-
we just got to see how the numbers play out for that one.
if it can be done, I really want to do records for this. I'd like to get some 12 inches pressed for this album.
That would be wild.
But
I already have a few people that are asking about
that
wanting to get
largely is
vinyl.
going to, if anything, it might be something we have to like try to crowdfund once the album's out and we get more people listening. And the goal is maybe with this release, we build a little more hype and enough people are interested and they would be willing to help us crowdfund records because pressing wax is expensive as shit.
Yes, it is. But I'll tell you right now, if that shit hits vinyl, I'm gonna be grabbing it.
Hell yeah.
Now, where can we find your guys' music or any merch that is out right now?
We have a big cartel page for the merch.
For the merch, so that's just thelosinghope.bigcartel.com for merch specifically, and that'll, like I said, I'm gonna pick one of the designs I got sitting, and then that'll probably be what we do. I'm thinking either a long sleeve or some sort of tee or something like that coming up literally in this next week when they're in studio. So we'll have that out shortly, updated shortly. So for merch, losinghope.bigcartel.com. For streaming, we're on every major streaming service. Also got a Bandcamp.
You'll find the really shitty acoustic record.
The really
too.
Yeah, you'll
you
find
really
the
wanna
original
dig-
release
if
on
you
Bandcamp.
really want to hear how it all started, that's a one-time listen.
All of so from the 2018 EP, the 2020 EP, and then the other singles, that's all on all major streaming platforms already.
All of the good releases.
And then yes, the OG stuff is hidden away on Bandcamp, still accessible if anybody is interested in hearing the sad boy acoustic stuff.
Much younger Skylar.
Much angstier.
Please don't listen to it.
Sometimes it's
There's
nice to
one
revisit.
song once every.
I mean, Lydia came out of that.
I was about
Yeah,
to say
Lydia and
the
Cathedral
one,
Bell.
The one good song
Was
off of
Cathedral
it
Bell
got put at the end.
Pretty sure it was.
The When You Leave EP. That was a song called Lydia.
Still my favorite song to play live.
It's a fun one. I took a lot of notes from Major League from that song. Oh, I miss Major League.
Now, of course, we can confirm that Squatch is in fact real as you're sitting here face to face with him right now. Now, with that being said, have you ever had any sort of unexplained encounter? You know, aliens, ghosts, or possibly even your own Squatch sighting you can tell us about?
Oh man.
Well,
Don't you fucking dare.
Do it.
Don't
Do
you
it.
fucking dare.
you should have just not said anything because I wouldn't have thought of it if you didn't say anything. Well, Chris here, Chris and I used to be in like a prog metalcore band called That Morning's End, and of the many nicknames that a lot of us incurred in that band, one of them that he incurred was Sasquatch because of his hairy manly
His
physique.
robust.
Love you too. So yeah, you're also sitting face to face with Hi, brother.
I feel honored to sit across from you right now.
Oh man, that's funny. What about you guys?
I mean, I've seen a lot of stuff happen in the deer in the woods anytime when I go up hunting. So I've definitely seen my fair share of possible Squatch sightings up in the woods in northern Minnesota.
I wouldn't discount it. I've never personally had any sort of like where I think I saw it type of deal. But I also like, man, there's a lot of woods, not just in Minnesota, but just like, dude, like
Pacific Northwest.
yeah, like I am not gonna even pretend to say that it's out of the realm of possibility. I don't have any personal stories, but who knows?
I've got a really creepy one.
Yeah.
It's not funny at all, really.
Do share.
I believe I was visited by a demon in a dream when I was like 17.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So.
Sleep paralysis demon?
Yeah, probably. Actually, that's looking back on it. That may have
Probably
been
in it.
all of what it was. But at the time, it scared the shit out of me because I was having this dream, and it was one of those ones where it's real. Like it's a dream, but like dream you is like, no, this is real life. I'm riding my bike to the park with my best friend, like we do every fucking day of the week. And so we got to the park because that's what the dream was. We got to the park, and then like all of the sound was just instantly muted. Like somebody had the remote from that Adam Sandler movie and just hit mute. And then I heard this deep, like the most otherworldly, sinister, growling voice I've ever heard in my life. And like I listen to death metal. So like it wasn't any kind of noise that a human could make. And I woke up and my room was like darker than it usually is, and it didn't go back to normal at first, and it was really weird.
That's why you got to keep those night lights on.
No.
That's why I always I put YouTube on my phone when I go to sleep, because then I always have like a little bit of like
White noise.
Yeah.
I sleep like a corpse.
But again, I want to thank you all for joining us here today. We were sitting here with the Losing Hope out of Minnesota. Again, where can everybody find you?
We are on Facebook. We are on Twitter and Instagram. And like we stated before, you can find all our music on any streaming sites, on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Music,
The whole nine. Yeah, the whole nine. Losing Hope, and I think the handle is Losing Hope MN. So, yeah.
All right, and you said new music coming hopefully middle of February, it sounds like?
within the next couple months for sure, because we're going into the studio on Tuesday.
New single. The goal is new single sometime in February, and the full album in March.
Awesome. So again, be looking out for new music from the Losing Hope here. hopefully we see that full length here in March or even April. But you've been tuning into Squatch in the Pit here, and Squatch out.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks for
Hey,
having us, dude.
Yep, thank you guys again.